Hi, I'm making a video to document me making finally making the Bikefix module. Yay! Well, it's going to be the Bikefix module. At one point I wanted it to be the pop-up and pick module so that it could be reused for other websites, but I'm thinking after a lot of research into the rules API and the pricing thing and stuff to do with Drupal commerce and things, I think I'm going to write my own module to interact with Drupal commerce to make it all nice. And this is my plan and how far I've got. So I'm going to show you. Show you, and it might well just be me who's watching this, but hopefully this will help other people when they're designing their modules. So this is my papers and stuff. First of all, I put the I'm laying out how I want the Bikefix people to use the user interface. Now, when they load up, when they put in a bike, because that's the most complicated thing, and they can put in some images and some text and some options and some rules. Now the options are going to go into these things like different steering options, different brakes, and they can be put into different orders, and different ones can be set as default. And you should be able to move one of these into the next column so that you can reorder them and group them easily just by moving them up and down. Now, so the options will be at the top and then extras at the bottom. Options at the top, extras at the bottom. This is my plan. And the extras are tick boxes, pretty much. So extras are tick boxes, options are things you can pick. Now, within each option, I'm going to have the options opening up like this. You click on the title and it will open up to be like this big, and in it we'll have a place to put your title and small title, and some help text with a WYSIWYG so that you can so that we can put in images and things to demonstrate what they'll be buying. So they have all the help they need in each option, and also rules to do with that option can be put in here, and of course adding a price, so that because sometimes different options cost different prices, and that's very important. I was going to add weight because I was thinking it would be quite simple to have a price and weight in for a bike, so that when somebody's configuring a bike, they can see how much it weighs, because they might want a particularly light bike, or also when we're posting it to them, it might cost more to post if it's heavy. But the customer hasn't asked for that, so I've crossed it out because it's just going to make life more complicated. So we're just having rules and price. And the rules are going to work something like this, which is, you can say if you've got one thing, you've got to have another, unless you've got one of these sort of thing. That's going to be made clearer as the process unfolds. Now, the first thing when I'm making a module, not that I've made very many modules, so I'd like to start off, this time at least, with how the data is going to be stored in the schema. Now, each option I'm going to assign an option set so that you can have an option set with options within it. It's going to be different from the option set module that you can get from Drupal Commerce, because you can add option sets to particular products, but this is going to be so much on a per bike scale, options per bike, that it's really not going to be worth reusing these options, because they might change, and if you change an option set, it changes it across the board, whereas I think it's going to be simpler just to say, it's changed for this bike and it changed for this bike, and it's going to make it a lot simpler. So here we are with so each option set will have an option set ID, a title, some HTML text, and some weight. Now this weight is Drupal weight, which means that if something's lighter, it floats to the top. And when they come to put it in, the option set is going to be like steering. Very simple there. And then be able to press the plus sign at the side, open up, and add in your HTML. And when you move it up and down, it moves the weight for them. That's a built-in function of Drupal, so I don't have to worry too much about that. Now, each option, which is the important thing, like tiller steering or under seat steering, for example, is an option, and this data will be held with an OID, but I might make that an OPID, because OID could be order ID, and that might get a bit confusing for when I'm programming it. I will change that actually to PID. Now the OPID, each option will have a price as laid out in my paperwork here. See, price. Yeah, so it has price, and it's going to have weight, so it moves up and down, and potentially rules. I don't know why I've written height there. Oh no, that's supposed to be help text. Let's change that as well. So help text in there, and a title so that the option can be moved around, as well as a small title, so when it's selected and shown in the small thing, that sometimes when we're displaying the options, we're going to display them with just a minimal amount of text, so ultra concise, just a reminder to show people what they've bought is for that title. This title, it could be a lot longer, like you might say under seat steering, and then when they've selected it, you could just say under seat or USS, or whatever it is, under seat steering, quite small. And what else have I put in here? Oh yeah, Drupal weight. Yeah, we're not doing the weight of an object, but that was, I did have it in there for a little while, thinking that I would carry on with that. And obviously going to be using the Forms API to lay that out, and the Schema API to store it in the database, hopefully. So here's my next steps. Next step, I've got to write the schema, and then look into the line item API from Drupal Commerce, and obviously the form API to sort out the thing, and then adding the rules schema. How to store the rules? Well, I got my friend David to help me with the rules, So I've got him to help me lay out the rules schema, which is he's written the user interface for it, which I'll hopefully be able to show in a bit. So rules is a table with individual rules in it. Each rule has a RID, a title, some help text as HTML, so you could add images and things. Anyone could add images. Now the criteria, this is where you say you can have this if you don't have that, or this is where we set out the rules, and this is where we set out the exceptions, and that will relate to the object will be the OP ID, the option set ID, OS ID, and the value will be the OID, and the same for the exceptions. So that so that's where I'm up to, and yeah, I'll show you the user interface system shortly. Okay, bye.